Human rights are the foundation of the entire program. Human rights are something we can all relate to. Even if a community doesn't know about human rights principles as it exists in international texts and legislation, but they know that they have values that are associated to those human rights. And once they learn about the principles through the program, it becomes evident.
Okay.
She knows now that in the past she used to violate her children's rights. She very often would give them work that she knows now isn't work for a child, and whether or not the child believes they can do it or not, they do it anyway because they fear that she's going to hit them. But since she's been taking part in Tostan's program, she has stopped doing that because she knows that there's consequences, long-term consequences for those kinds of actions onto her child. The other way that she also violated her children's rights was that in the past, her husband would not allow her to take part in decision-making, but she also didn't allow her children to take part in decision-making. Since she's been able to take part, she's also invited her husband to now consider their children's thoughts.
To my understanding, Tostan programs are all about change and change of social norms and so forth. When do you see change come about in the villages? Where in the program?
Yeah, I think change, I see change happening at a stage when the community members start to discuss their own practices related to each human right principle. Mm-hmm. Do our current practices contribute to this human right, and are they aligned with our core values? If they do not, what can we do to ensure that we are aligned with our values and our practices are aligned with our values and they're promoting well-being for every member of the community? So I think this is where the moment, that aha moment, wait a second, we said we wanted education for everybody in the community. Does every child in our community go to school?
And if they don't?
They don't, yes. What do we need to do to improve that? There are children, for example, in Guinea Bisssau, and communities where we've worked in the past that were taken out of school so they can participate in the cashew campaign. So they would miss 3 months of school every year because of the cashew campaign. So what the community management committee has done, they made sure that after the decision that children should not participate in the cashew campaign and should not miss school because of that. The cashew is quite an interesting fruit because the nut, it's one of the only fruits that the nut grows on the outside. Yeah, so this is it's our national fruit actually, and it's grown everywhere. So
we have the cashew trees.
Yeah, and you can see everywhere you're walking right now. There's just cashews all over the ground.
So it's cashew season.
It's the beginning of the cashew campaign.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which makes up for a majority of the income in the country.
Yeah. It's the main income generating activity for families across Guinea Bissau.
And can you eat the fruit as well?
Yes, you can. It's edible. Oh. It's delicious actually. They come in yellow and some are in red, so it's like our apple, if you might say.
Can I eat this now, or would you?
You may want to wash it first. Yeah. You just picked it up from the ground.